Welcome everybody to another episode of the Dynamite show, and we are here after a great race at Australia. I've got so much to show you today. We've got highlights, we've got interviews, we have some predictions, we have power rankings, and just a little bit more. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's start off with the highlights.
Is he going to be able to complete this lap and not spin? Down into turn 13 he goes, kisses the curb lovely, takes a lot of the exit curb. Two more corners to go, turn 15 and 16, and this is where it becomes a bit tricky with the tyres becoming a lot overheated. DRS wide open, straight line to the line, sets a time of a 1:23.5. A Draken Fighter goes P2 on the mediums of 1:25.3. One of the Ferraris, I think that is Dylan, goes P4, the 1:41. One of the AlphaTauris goes fastest stunt, setting up on, immediately gets beaten with by JC at 1:22.8. So two AlphaTauris locking out the front row and splitted by Whipboy 1:23.5. And I think one of the Red Bulls, is that Lauren? Lauren might have completely lost it. However, she's now facing the wrong way on track. Let's switch on board with Karting King. Hopefully she won't get disqualified, and Karting King goes P5. He's just been knocked down by Rusty Wilder, who sets a 1:23.9. Justin, who goes P2 with a 1:23.2. Guna rounds the final corner. Curtis, thank you for the follow, pal. Comes across the line, good enough for P7, 1:24.3, the fastest on the mediums, and I think that was one of the Alfa Romeos on the mediums, are 9th position, the 1:25 flat. I think we'll see some of the medium runners coming into the pits and changing for some softs near the end of qualifying. Can Whipboy improve on that? He does, goes up to half a second, moves himself closer to P1 time with a 1:22.9. Wave is out on track. Comes across the line, good enough for P6. He's the fastest medium runner with a 1:23.7. Jack has just gone P9 on set of softs. Kenzie Retro going P15 and 1:28.4. Unknown, can he improve on P6? Wow, P2 1:22.8. Look how a 3/1000th of a second separates the top two. Wow, Daguna going fastest at 1:22. The first driver. Kenzie goes P10 now. Hope that the Haas can get out of the way. Mind you, might be able to get a bit of a slipstream. Oh, that Haas is really... Oh, Michael, you should go out of the way, pal. 3/10 up on his fastest time. That is going to be close to pole position. Oh, he improves. Look how much closer. He's almost... Well, he's just over 2/10. Separates P1 and P2. Every other driver I go on board with. Oh, we've got our first spinner. Whipboy. Whipboy's currently just over 3/10 of a second. That might challenge for the front row of the grid. He doesn't. He's just off of that third place. Is good enough for him. Rusty jumps up to P5. Great lap from him at 1:23.1. Wow. Stunt improves. Goes P5, 1:22.9. Okay, if he spins, it's all on you, DPV. Very smooth through turns 6 and so. What did I say? DPV, that was all on you. Sorry, I shouldn't laugh. Can Justin improve? No, he can't. Stunt. The next one, he's 4/10 up on his fastest lap. Again, that could challenge for the front of the grid. I don't know if he's quick enough for a pole position. No, he's lost a little bit of time. What about the McLaren? No, but somebody else did. And I think that was the Aston Martin. Jumped up to P3. A second quicker than his fastest time. This track evolution is certainly working. Oh, look at that. JC does go pole at 1:22.3. Wow. Not much separates P1 and P2 as the checker flag has come out. So he only needs 5/100ths of a second to beat his fastest time and also take provisional pole. Short run to the line. Can he do it? He does. He goes provisional pole 122 flat. What about Wavy? Can he improve? Can he dislodge Daguna? He goes P2 122.1. The Mercedes of Daguna takes provisional pole. Well, actually, it is pole position now with a 122 flat. On the front row of the grid is Wavy with a 122.1. Second row of the grid is JC and Whitboy. And then we have Unknown, Stunt, Rusty, Justin, Karting King starting on the mediums in the top 10, and Kenzie Retro finishing on that, finishing off that top 10. Then we have Jack, Draken Fighter, VJ Unit. Then we've got Ghost in the Aston Martin, and Michael, Dylan, P16, Lauren, Driver of the Day already for P17, and the two didn't manage to put a time in is the Haas of Curtis and Ollie, who didn't make past turn 2. We'll have a formation lap first so we can see what tyre compounds people are on. So top 10 will be starting on the tyres that they set the qualifying on, so there will be worn tyres. Karting King setting the time on the mediums. The other top 10 are on the softs, and then we've got a couple other medium runners as well. A one stop onto the hards at lap 9 to 11 or 8 to 11 for soft, and then medium again. So soft, medium, 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights and 5 lights. And we've got 5 lights and away we go. It looks like they have all got away fairly good. And look at this, we've got the Aston Martin, think of the move down the inside, but it looks like the Mercedes have got a fantastic line through there, as already Unknown is up a position on Whitboy as they start feeding down into turn 3. And further back, we've got 2 cars going side by side, and that's the Alpha Tauri. Think of a possible move. Let's just let this chaos carry on through down into turn 6. A slight bang in the wheels. Oh, a slight contact between the Alpha Tauri and Karting King. Hopefully there's no wing damage as Rusty Welder follows these two. And also Curtis making a move on Kenzie Retro. He's now up into P14. Don't think we'll see any audacious moves into turn 11 and 12. And hopefully we'll get through fairly unscathed. And we've got a yellow flag, and that is for Ghost. And I think he is still moving. So he is the first casualty on the exit of turn 12 as they start slowly moving. So Daguna 7 tenths separate himself and P2. Curtis is making another position up, and look at that, this switch on board with this battle as the Mercedes and the Williams, I believe it is, battling through turn 5 into turn 6. Oh no, we've lost the Mercedes. Hopefully he'll be able to carry on going and trundle back to the pits. Curtis is certainly making the moves, up 9 positions after 2 laps of this race. Look at this, we've got Rusty thinking of a move around the outside of the Alpha Tauri down into turn 3. What a great move from the Alpine driver, Alpine. As Stunt takes a lot of that curb. Will he have got a warning for cutting a lot of that curb? We've got a yellow flag, and that's a Red Bull, and that's going to be possibly drop dead Lauren, and that's on the exit of turn 6. Curtis now up another position, up to P8 now. He's going to be close enough, not quite on. This lap goes extremely deep. Oh, he's lost it on the exit. Hopefully he'll be able to get back safely onto track. Little trail of cars behind the Alpha Tauri. Always Unknown goes a little bit deep. And I think Whitboy is going to have that position. with the aid of DRS. They switch back to unknown. Who's going to be braver on the brakes as Curtis gets the fastest lap. Oh no, 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 unknown. Oh, I didn't view that as Spunky Monkey. Thank you ever so much for the follow, as unknown has done his traditional spin of the race. Oh no, no, please don't tell me he spun out again. Oh, he's going a little bit slow. As he lost, I think he might have lost a wing. On board with the leaders, we've got one of them has pitted, so the leader of this race has come into the pits on lap 5. That is a fairly early start, but it gives a fantastic exit. Let's switch on board. Surely he's not going to go for an audacious move down into turn 11. Daguna will really want to get past these battling cars so he can start chasing down the leader. He's going to go for a move down the inside at turn number 9, and that is one dispatched. Switch back to the Mercedes. He's going to switch to the outside. Move done before turn 1. Up into P6 now. Up, and that is Daguna trying round the outside into turn 1. Had to go a little bit deep, but has got the move done. Justin has also got right on the back end of this pack. He's opted for the soft tyres, so is he going for the harder compound at the end of this race? And surely he's not going to try and move around the outside of the AlphaTauri. Oh, he's gone a little bit deep at turn 11, but he's going to be right on the back end of the AlphaTauri. They both got the DRS. As look at that, the Alfa Romeo is going to stick one down the inside, but so is the Alpine. As the AlphaTauri goes a little bit deep, and that is Justin up into P9. Oh, surely not. Is he going to try one round the outside, and he's possibly going to lose that other position to JC again. The Williams and the Alfa Romeo. The Alfa Romeo can't stick one. Oh, no! That was always going to happen, and the AlphaTauri resets to track. Curtis from P18 is up to P3 at the moment. He hasn't stopped yet. They're doing extremely well. He's going to move to the inside. So come. Ooh, the Ferrari might get a better exit, but the Alfa Romeo will have the DRS still. They've both got the DRS. He's going to sling one down the inside. He's got the softer compound tyres. He's going to have the more traction, the more confidence, and he makes that move stick. Let's go on board with Justin in the Alpine. I think this might be job done. He pulls to the outside. However, JC is hoping for no safety cars and planning the long game. Oh no! Dylan has lost it, and he's lost his rear wheel. And Rossi going to send one down the inside, very confident. And that is a job done up into P12. That is a great move. Fantastic confidence. You can see at the bottom of the screens how much ERS Wavy has got. Racing his usual Aston Martin that he's very familiar with. Is he going to be close enough to make a move? He is gaining on the Mercedes, and he's going to go into turn 1, and that is job done. Curtis with those brand new medium tyres. It's not going to be long, so how much? Let's have a look at the gap between the leader. So he's only 11 seconds back, and there's 12 laps remaining. Yeah, safety car is reduced, which I personally like, because when you have it on standard, it's literally, it's too much. Curtis 6/10 behind Whitboy. There might be a very close move. I think he might just stick in behind the Ferrari and get him down into turn 3. I think Whitboy is going to play it safe here. And that is job done. Oh, Rusty! Rusty's lost it, turn 1. Oh, we got another yellow flag, and that was temporarily. Oh, we got a full course safety car. We have finally got one. Right, so let's wait and see when he decides to bolt it one. hearing a lot of banging, and I think he has bolted now as he breaks away from the side of the track as we start feeding down into turn 1. And look at that, we've got all the Alpine of Justin, and there's someone lagging from here to next week. So we stay on board with the Friar of Whitboy. Curtis already a second in the lead at the moment, as Kenzie has already made a move past, and also Unknown now made a move past Jack as he gets a 5-second time penalty for a severe collision with Unknown. They've actually fixed that in the patch they had recently. We've got a yellow flag as Wavy gets a 3-second time penalty. Whitboy is sitting pretty here. If he can stay within the leaders, he's currently sitting with no penalties at the moment, as Dagunan now gets a 3-second time penalty. They switch back on board with the leaders. 4:10 separate them, as Wavy, with a brand new set of this soft compound tyres, no doubt will be looking to make a move and then head down the track. We've got a yellow flag, and that's Cotton King that's out, and he's lost it, and that is at turn 6. And that's another safety car. That might have just paid into Whitboy's hands. Right, as he gets going, and he's pelted it round the final corner. And it looks like they've all started off pretty decently. No one going for any audacious moves. Justin right on the back end as JC gets a 3-second time penalty. Switch on board with the top 3. Oh, Unknown. What's happened to Unknown? Unknown's lost it at turn 2. Wavy, however, look at that, is right on the back end. And also Michael as well. He's lost it at turn 3. Surely is Wavy going to think of a move going into turn 9? Not quite close enough. .710 separate P2 and P3. 4:10 separate P1 and P2. Oh, he takes a lot of that curb. Gets away with it, no penalty. He's deploying every single last bit of that ERS. While these two are squabbling, Whitboy is just waiting patiently. He will know how many penalty points the top 2 will have. He just has to stick within that time. But we're going to see Wavy trying to send a lunge as the Haas goes super defensive. And surely he's going to just move over at the last minute and block that off. We can see him move around the outside. Haas closes the door on the Aston Martin. Oh, this is a great battle between these two. Oh, last lap, coming up to turn 9. They are literally pushing each other along. 9:10 separate. Is he going to try one round the outside? He's going to try and slip down the inside, switch back to the outside. Surely he's not going to try round the outside into turn 11, but that's going to give him the better exit out of turn 12. And this is an all or nothing. He's going to go side by side, both of them Haas versus the Aston Martin. He wants to take it on track, and he is now up into the lead of this race. However, look at this. The AlphaTauri is now taking P3 off of Whitboy. Whitboy's down to P4. We will potentially see some switches of position as JC has got time penalty as well. Let's stay on board with the Aston Martin and Wavy. He will take the checkered flag. However, he will lose some position. So Wavy will come across the line, takes P1. Curtis P2, but look at that. Whitboy takes the lead in this race. Justin P2, Wavy P3, Curtis P4, Draken Fighter P5, JC down to P6, the Alfa Romeo of VJ Unit P7, Kenzie Retro P8, Daguna P9, Jack P10, Unknown will take a P11, Ollie, well, didn't even race, and Driver of the Day, Drop Dead Lauren, will take, I'd imagine, P13. Congratulations to the league owner Sam, aka Whitboy, for season 1, round number 1 here in Australia.
Here we go then for the final standings. I still can't believe it. P1 Whitboy, P2 Justin, P3 Wavy, P4 Curtis, P5 Draken Fighter 90, P6 JC14, P7 VJ Unit, P8 Kenzie Retro, P9 Daguna, P10 Jack Toffee 03, P11 Unknown, P12 Ollie Sutton, P13 Michael JFF, P14 Drop Dead Lauren, P15 Karting King, P16 FFG Stunt, P17 we have Rusty Welder, P18 Idol Ghost, and P19 Dylan. Unlucky race for him there. So that brings us to the end of the highlights. What a race that was from everyone. I'm still completely shocked that I won that. You know, people ahead of me were much faster than me. The safety cars definitely helped a bunch. I just used all my ERS to stay in the front, and there we go. I didn't get any time penalties, which actually won me the race in the end. So yeah, very happy about that. Next up, we have the driver interviews. We're going to have VJ Unit on from Alfa Romeo. He's going to be speaking on behalf of both of the Alfa Romeo drivers. So let's see what he had to say. It's been a good 2 races for you and Dragon. You've had consistent mid-points finishes. It's been quite impressive. Are you both happy with how your races have gone so far?
Yeah, we're pretty happy. We know we're not the quickest on track. We're also not the slowest on track. So what we're looking to do is just to be as consistent as possible, really. I think in the first exhibition race, I think Dragon was 3rd and I was 5th, I think.
If you can do that every week, you'll do really well in the constructors.
That's it. We're just looking to get into the top 10 each week, scoring points, and then see where we can come out on.
I think you can definitely do that. Because you guys haven't seemed to have many like crashes or anything like that. You seem to be fairly clean, so it's definitely doable for you guys. You don't
we're
use
trying
any
our best.
assists either, do you? So that's quite impressive.
I'm not using any assists besides the racing line, but I know Dragon is using the ABS and medium traction. But other than that, then yeah, we're assist free really.
Yeah, that's fine. That's yeah, it's really impressive that you don't use assists, but you're still that consistent. So good job there.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so what's your favourite track on calendar?
I'd say my favorite track on calendar is probably Silverstone, I would have to say. I do love the S section definitely.
Yeah, that's usually most people when they say Silverstone. Yeah.
If you get it right, it's pretty satisfying.
It's satisfying, and if you can get that right, you've got the track right. Really, that's like the main part, isn't it? It's like on Bahrain, there's that one really tight left-hander. If you get that right, then you've got most of the track right, sort of thing. So
yeah, exactly.
Do you know what Dragon's favorite track is, or?
I'm not too sure. I think last time I asked him, he said Belgium.
Right.
But he says he doesn't really have a favorite track. There's a few tracks he likes, but I think the one he mentioned to me was Belgium. We're both from Belgium, so that's home Grand Prix.
Yeah, I thought you were. Yeah. So yeah, it's a good track. Rouge is a bit scary, but yeah, it's a good track.
Yeah, for sure.
What was your least favorite track?
My least favorite track, I think I would have to go with Monaco.
Monaco.
It's not like I hate it. It's just the fact that it's so hard to overtake on the track makes it kind of boring in a way.
Yeah.
So
you know, we said that about. I personally would have said that about Australia. As like not many overtakes and things, but it was a pretty crazy race actually.
Yeah, true. Yeah, it's not the easiest track to overtake either. That's true.
Yeah, but there was a lot of action on the track, so that was good. And Hungary actually as well. So
yeah, which isn't easy to overtake either.
Yeah. So maybe I think everyone in our league's quite close in pace, kind of thing.
We are. Yeah.
There's a lot of people around the same pace. I think there's maybe a top 3 who are slightly quicker than everyone else, but
yeah, exactly.
I think everyone and like anyone else anywhere from like anywhere in the league can get points. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's like what we say to each other. Like we know we're not the fastest in quali, but we know. I mean, I myself know I'm always a lot more consistent in the race, so that's what we're aiming for.
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm the same. I'll never qualify in first ever on any track, but my consistency won me the race on Tuesday, so
Yeah,
that was the
exactly.
main thing. Yeah, as long
Yeah,
as you like, the thing is, if you don't get any penalties like I didn't, and there's a safety car
yeah.
for the last three
That's
laps.
that's another thing we're trying to aim for as well. Like, don't get the penalties because we know people will get penalties. So if you don't get the penalties, you will immediately go up in ranks.
That's
So
it. That's it. And I think that's something everyone should really try for because
yeah,
so far in the first two races, there's been quite a few penalties racking up. So
definitely avoiding the penalties is definitely a step forward.
okay, so what are your personal goals for the drivers' championship?
Oh, it's like I don't want to make any too bold statements, but I mean we are as we're trying to be just as consistent and ranking up the points every week. If we can do that, I think we can maybe a top three as possible.
So
That's what
like
we're looking for
you for the
as a
drivers.
team.
Oh, so as a team, okay. So for the
As a team,
constructors,
yeah.
you're
The
looking for the top
constructors,
three. Okay, yeah. I think
yeah,
you
yeah,
guys could definitely do that. I think it
yeah.
was only you and Williams that had both
Two
drivers in
teams
the points.
scoring,
Yeah.
exactly, yeah.
So, but you guys
But
were.
that's only one race.
But yeah, so that's it for the constructors. What about you yourself in the
Oh,
drivers?
it's a bit early to call, I would say, but I mean, I think I'm somewhere like I will somewhere be mid-table,
Yeah.
something like that. I think maybe a bit higher than that, but not too high.
Yeah,
We'll see.
you definitely seem capable. I think you could probably, if you keep consistent, you'll finish in the top five in the drivers
Yeah,
for sure. If not better, you never know what's going to happen in the season.
exactly.
So I have noticed a little trend going on. I don't know what it is, but in qualifying, you seem a bit quicker than Dragon, but
Hmm.
then on the track, he has finished higher than you in both on both occasions. Is there some team orders, or is that just how it's turned out?
Yeah, there's no really team orders. No, it's just that's just how it went. Really, yeah, yeah. It's just how it went.
I know there's only been two races, but is there any driver you consider your rival?
At this point, I would say either Kenzie Retro or GC14 since they came sixth and eighth. So yeah,
Have you seen them much on track?
yeah. Last race we were battling quite a lot, especially in the last part of the race. So yeah,
Cool. So I think I know what you're going to say here, but who do you consider your rival in the constructors?
McLaren or you guys Ferrari, I
Right.
would say.
Okay. So you're
Yeah,
aiming high. You're aiming high. That's good. I like that.
yeah.
As you can see on the standings, like it's pretty open. If we look at the driver standings here, you've got Ferrari, McLaren, Aston Martin, Haas, Alfa Romeo, and Alfa Tauri before a repeat. So
Yeah,
the top six are all from different teams. That's kind of crazy.
yeah. I wasn't really expecting that. Like the only team scoring in the first race was us and then the Williams
Yeah,
as
yeah.
a team. So that kind of surprised us. But yeah,
Cool. Well, thank you
yeah,
for doing the interview.
yeah. It's my pleasure, and thank you for having me.
So that was VJ Unit from Alfa Romeo on behalf of himself and Dragon Fighter. Thank you very much. It was a great interview. You did really well there. Anyway, next up we have the driver standings. So let's take a look what they look like after round one. So these are the standings after Australia round one. As you can see, there's 16 races. So we can't look into this one too much, but we can look into what we have. So we have the Hungary race and we have this race. So I'm going to make a few predictions and talk about the standings a little bit because this race was pretty crazy in the end, actually. For Australia, where not many overtakes and things are meant to happen, the drivers really did put on an awesome show. I think it was a great race. I've had good feedback from the drivers and people watching. It's actually quite crazy. We've got some fans in the league as well, so hi to you guys if you're watching. But yeah, I just think, like, looking at the standings, I'm looking at the people in the bottom 10 there. Some of those drivers in there could have even got a podium at times. Some unfortunate things happened to some people. Some people clipped the wall. Some people got into an unfortunate situation or even disconnected at times. That happens in the Formula One game. But I think this league is going to be so open, and I do not think that the standings are going to look like this every week. There's no way. There's no way the standings are going to look like this every week. For instance, I am not coming first. Probably again, that was just a complete fluke. I'm looking at People like Dragon Fighter and VJ Unit in those Alfa Romeos in Hungary, they finished in the mid-points consistently, and here we are again. They're here again. I think they're going to be a really good contender for the constructors. I'm looking at the Williams as well, another team that both got into the points, and I think they are the only two teams, by the looks of it, yes, they're the only two teams that actually had two drivers in the points, so watch out for them in the constructors. I also think anyone in that bottom 10 could get a result. Like any of you watching now, I really think you can. Looking through the names in there, the positions you were in during the race, and I know you had some unfortunate things happen, but that isn't going to happen every week. You're going to have good races, you're going to have bad races, but I bet you will be looking at that calendar at the top and you'll know which races you're good at, and they're the ones that matter, they're the ones that count. Make sure you do well on them, and we're going to have one hell of a season, because this is going to be so back and forth between all the positions everyone's going to be in. There's so many people, as I said, in that bottom 10 who are going to get in the points week in, week out. They've just had some unlucky races. There's going to be some people that aren't necessarily going to score many points, causing upsets. There's going to be people about to win a race and then something goes wrong. It's going to be crazy. This is round 1 out of 16. We can't really look into this too much. We've got 15 more races to go, and it's going to be an incredible season. Anyway, let's look at the constructor standings. So here they are. I can't believe it, but Ferrari are in first. Got a good win for myself there. Dylan had a bit of an unfortunate race, but we're still on top, so that's great news for us. It's way more than we were expecting. And now we have McLaren in second. Justin got an incredible start to the season, and Invictus Nug unfortunately did not start the race, but they are second as well. What a good result. Justin was actually racing in the Alpine, but he became a full-time driver for McLaren, so his points have been transferred there. In third, we have Alfa Romeo, VJ Unit, and Dragon Fighter. What an absolutely solid performance from them again, as they were in Hungary. I think they came third and fifth in Hungary. This time a little lower down the pecking order, but fifth and seventh is still solid, which has put them on 16 points in third place. Only 2 points behind McLaren and only 9 points behind Ferrari, so that's really good from them. Well done. And then we've got Aston Martin, Wavy having a solid performance, and Idle Ghost having a very unlucky race. I think a few things happened to him in there, but look, he's a solid driver and he will bounce back, I'm sure. Next it is Curtis and Michael in the Haas. Now Curtis had an absolutely amazing race. He started last on the grid. He actually finished second on track. Unfortunately for him, his penalties, corner cutting penalties, brought him down to fourth, but you can't take it away from him. What a great race from him. And then you got Michael, who's still learning his wheel, but he's come 13th, so that is really nothing to be sniffed at. He is actually progressing really well, made a big improvement on his Hungary performance, so watch out for him. I think he will come out of the woodwork at some point. And then we have the Alpha Tauris of JC and Stunt. And in my opinion, this is an underperformance for them. 6th and 16th is really, yes, they've got 8 points, and yes, they're in 6th, but I think they're capable of a lot more, and I think they will achieve a lot more as the season progresses. I think they just need to iron out those little kinks that are having. It seems for JC, like we said on his interview last week, he has one mistake a race that really hampers him. So that in this case, it was his 3-second time penalty. Stunt had a few spins this race, but I think as the season progresses, he will iron those out, and they will be a real contender for the constructors, I'm sure. Then we have the Williams. Only one of 2 teams to have both drivers finishing the points. Now, this was a solid result for them, obviously. 5 points is great to have on the board. This could be a sign of things to come, and if they could just get a little bit faster, or just, bring those places up a couple more places, they'll be a real contender, I'm sure. Kenzie is having some pretty good races. He's been pretty consistent too. Jack had a few incidents in the race. Got a bit unlucky at times too, so I do fully expect that these guys will improve as the season progresses as well. So great start for you guys though. You both finishing the points. You can't really ask for more, so good job there. And now we have Mercedes, and Daguna had a very unlucky race. He got pole position. He was really flying, and he made a bit of a mistake coming out of the first safety car. I think he just went onto the grass, and it just allowed the cars behind him to get past. Until then, he was having a completely solid race, and while I was driving in the race, I thought he'd actually get the win, but it wasn't meant to be today, but I'm sure it will in future races. He is definitely one of the contenders for the driver championship, in my opinion. Ollie Sutton, very unlucky, had connection problems throughout the race. I think in future, after what we'll see more of what we saw in Hungary, where he'll be supporting Daguna a lot more and just trying to get those points and bring them home. So watch out for them in the future. So where do we start with the Red Bulls? I think we'll start with Unknown. Unknown was on for actually a pole sitting qualifying lap. He would have actually been pole with it, but he ran out of fuel on the straight and it just lost him about 7 tenths. And then he got into the race, he overtook me to gain a position, and then about the 4th or 5th lap, I believe, he spun out and he just really struggled to recover from there. Lauren just needs to get some of the pace and a bit more confidence. She always struggles with having other cars around her. She's actually been known to let everyone past her before because she's worried about crashing. Look, Lauren, you can do it, you're fine. I've seen you get points before. Have a bit more confidence and I'm sure you guys will score some good points.
Unknown, easy on the throttle.
And finally, we have Alpine, purely below Red Bull because Owen did not start, so it just brings them down in the points a little bit. But Rusty made some really good overtakes. He was actually having a really good race until he unfortunately crashed out towards the end of the race. Now, he made some super overtakes, which you'll be able to watch on the highlights that you've just seen, obviously, or the full race. Well done to Rusty. I'm sure that you will be able to score some points in the future. Just keep your head, mate, and you'll get there. Okay, now we're on a new segment of the show, which I haven't really done before, but I'm going to do some power rankings, but there's a twist. I have to try and explain all of the power rankings in a certain time limit before the song ends, basically. So I'm going to go through them all, quickly explain as fast as I can why I think they're the power rankings, and see if I can make it and do it by the end. Now, I want you all to know that this is just my opinion. Don't take it to heart, this is just from what I've seen from my perspective. You may think differently. Go prove me wrong if you don't like it. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1, and go. Okay, so in 10th we have Red Bull. Now I think because of Unknown having inconsistencies and Lauren just being a bit off the pace at the moment and really struggling to get to grips with some of the tracks, I think they're going to be struggling to get not any points, but into the higher end of the points just now, but I think they will in the future, and I think they will be a force to be reckoned with in the second half of the season. Okay, here we go. Next is Alpine. So I think that they will do well. Rusty's going fairly quick. Owen Blues wasn't there this week, but I think he will bring it back when he's here. I think they will score points in the future. Okay, no. Mercedes, no. Williams. Okay, Williams. I think they are doing very well. They are in the lower end of the points and consistently hitting the lower end of the points. I'm just wondering whether they can get into the higher points. We'll see how they do. I hope they do. I hope they prove me wrong and do well. I'm not sure if their pace is right there at the moment though. Okay, next is the Mercedes. Now, obviously, Daguna had a bad race. I think Daguna will pull out some results, but at the moment, all I can look at is where they are right now, and that is in 8th place in the Constructors, so I'm putting them in 8th for this one too, or 7th, I don't know which one, oh my god. Next is going to be Haas. I think Haas are pretty solid. Curtis is going to be very quick. He is definitely one of the quicker drivers on the grid. I'm just looking at Michael right now. I'm not sure whether he's going to be able to get the pace on his new wheel. I don't know when that's going to come. It will come, but I don't know when. Next is AlphaTauri. AlphaTauri, I think, are very strong. They're looking like one of the best constructors in the league at the moment. I hope they can manage it. I think they can do it, though. I'm just rambling now because of losing time. Aston Martin, Wavy is an extremely fast driver. He did really well. He came first on track in Australia. Unfortunately, his penalties brought him back. Idle Ghost has had some inconsistencies in Hungary and Australia. I'm just doubting whether he is going to be able to push into the higher end of the points just yet, but I'm sure he will. Alfa Romeo, no. McLaren, I think Justin Howell, very quick on the pace in Hungary and in Australia, so I think he'll do very well. And Invictus hasn't shown too much pace yet, but I'm sure it will come. Okay. Ferrari, I think I've done very well. I've got first. I've been consistent. Dylan was fairly consistent until he just had one spin out and unfortunately hit the wall. I think he will come to. Yeah, he'll get good. Alfa Romeo, very consistently in the top end of the points. I think they're going to be very good. I think they'll be consistently grabbing points, so I think they're going to be hard to beat this season in the constructors, and I think they may even win it. Oh, done. Man, trying to get all that in that amount of time was tough. I'm sorry. Look, guys, whatever I said, I can't even remember what I said, but I said what I thought at the time. I'm going to leave that completely uncut, so whatever happened there is what happened. I'm not gonna cut it out and make it sound good or anything. Just listen. Yeah. Oh god, that was quite tough. Anyway, thank you very much, guys, for watching. I hope you enjoyed Australia, and I hope you've enjoyed the show and the highlights as well. And I'll see you for round 2 in Singapore on Tuesday at 8 p.m. See you next time.